Ah, yes. Time for all the news and updates on this week's podcast on the 6th of April, indeed. Now, I have to say that on the 1st of April, just last week, there was quite a number of news stories and that announced by a lot of different sources, but thankfully a good lot of them were April Fools. We did share some of them because, they were quite funny, to be honest. But, some people didn't see them as April Fools. And we did get a number of messages, especially about the article that was published on pipesdrums.com about doing kilt length checks and stuff, and that there would be fines if the wrong length of kilt was worn. Yeah, some people actually took that seriously. But yes, it definitely was an April Fool. And there was quite a number of April Fools played by a lot of different sources online. So it was a lot of fun, actually. And yes, for those asking, April Fools was indeed my birthday. And that wasn't an April Fool's. I was another year older. Took the day off, spent it with the family, had a great old birthday while everyone else was mucking about playing pranks on each other. It was great fun. So yes, happy birthday me, and more fool you guys if you did fall for some of the April Fools that were announced as actual news stories. We just spent some time explaining other sources and saying, well, no, they're having a laugh, it's April Fools. So there you go. All right, let's get into some actual news then, shall we? Well, first of all, I have to say, on the date that we're recording this, on the 6th of April, today is the closing day for entries for the first major championship in the calendar, which is the British Pipe Band Championship in Inverclyde, which will be held on Saturday the 21st of May. And in case you're listening to this podcast right now and then you're realising that your paperwork isn't in, well, you could be out of time. So, today is the deadline to get your entries in for the British Championships, the first major in the calendar. And, for those wondering then, well, as soon as the closing date happens on, tonight at the 6th of April, the draw for the upcoming championship, the British, will be taking place on Wednesday, the 13th of April. Now, this is for all grades. And, apparently the draw for Grade 1 Medley and Grade 2 MSR will take place online on the day on the competition. So people have been asking about that. So, they will choose and announce their sets and all the rest on the line on the day. But as for the actual draw of the competition itself, will be taking place on Wednesday, the 13th of April. And, that's when it'll all shake down, folks. That's going to be an incredibly interesting day, because we'll find out just how many bands will be hitting the grass for our first major. And that's going to be a talking point in itself. There's been so much speculation about many bands not being able to field a competitive band this incoming season. So, I guess we'll see when the draw takes place on the 13th of April just how many bands we'll have in each grade for our first major. So we'll have to wait and see. But deadline is today to get your paperwork in. So if you're listening to my voice and going, I don't think we've put our entries in, well, you may be out of luck. But the draw itself will take place on Wednesday the 13th at 11 o'clock in the morning. And we'll be glued waiting to find that out. And no doubt we'll be bringing you guys the details on next week's podcast, for sure. Alrighty. Speaking of majors and upcoming competitions and such, the RSPBA themselves actually announced all of their judges and their allocations for this incoming season and all of the major competitions. So if you do want to read the hashtag list of who's judging what, you can go to the RSPBA website now and check it out. So each grade is listed and each judge is listed as well. But of course, the number one question on everyone's lips is, who's judging the big one? Who's judging the Worlds? Well, of course, the Worlds is going to be split over 2 days as always, the Friday and the Saturday. So starting with the Friday at Grade 1 Medley, we have Maurice Rhodes and Bob Worrell are both piping judges. We have Alec Duncan as well, and drumming, and Tom Brown for ensemble. And on the Saturday then for a Grade 1 Medley, we have Robert Shaw, Peter Hunt on piping, we have Stuart Collis on drumming, and Jim Baxter then for ensemble. That's your medley competition. For your MSR competition then on the Friday, we have Jim Wark, Ken Eller on piping. We have Duncan Miller on drumming. We have Alan Ronaldson on ensemble. I could just about talk. And that's your Friday MSR. On Saturday MSR, we have Ross Walker, Cameron Edgar for piping, and we have Lee Innes for drumming and Jennifer Hutchison on ensemble. There you are. Now, if anything, this is kind of an interesting year because 2022 will be the last year where judges Eller and Ronaldson will actually be eligible to judge, because after which they'll be over the age of 75. Sorry to give your ages out, folks, but yeah, they will age out. According to the association's rule, the judges cannot be 76 years old or older. Yeah. So also, it's interesting to see that Bob Worrell's back behind the clipboard again, judging the medley competition on the Friday for piping, which is awesome. But it's put a bit of speculation out there. Will Bob Worrell be doing the Voice of the Worlds on the Saturday on the BBC live stream? And yeah, that normally takes place on the Saturday, as far as I'm aware. So Bob is quite free to go and judge on the Friday, which is the day before. So there you are, but I am just speculating. There hasn't been anything confirmed, of course, but there has been other news sources online that are speculating that Bob possibly won't be doing any live commentary and stuff this incoming year, but yeah, that's unconfirmed, if I'm honest. So yeah, it was great to see Bob behind the clipboard again at the Worlds. It'd be great. Yeah, and if anything, these guys are not the only international judges that have been listed for the upcoming Worlds. Of course, we have Nat Russell and Sam Young from Australia, Duncan Miller from the US, of course, and many others as well. So yeah, quite an interesting list of judges. So I would urge you, if you are going to be competing at any of these major championships coming up, then go and check out your respective grades and also who's been listed, who'll be standing there watching you with a clipboard. Yeah, it's time for the old nerves to start kicking in, eh? So, yeah, a lot of people were asking, have the judges been announced yet? Yes, they have. The judges are all listed now up on the RSPBA site. You can go and have a look at them now. And, I do know people actually who tailor their performance depending on who's going to be judging them. And we've talked about that on previous podcasts, depending on judges' feedback over the season and previous seasons. Bands get to know what certain judges like to hear, and they do tailor their performances accordingly. So this is very useful information, So, yeah, go along, RSPBA website. The full judging list is up there now. And yes, I know I've stressed it again, but please keep an eye on your deadline dates for getting your entry forms in. If you are wanting to compete at some of these major championships coming up, then please make sure you get your paperwork in on time. Can't stress that enough. Cannot stress that enough. Alrighty, moving on to another little news story. I have to give a shout this week to Kyle Warren. Yes, of course, the author of Eat, Sleep, Pipe, Repeat. We had Kyle on a previous Big Rab Show pod. Well, he has mentioned this past week that he is launching a crowdfunder for an upcoming album. Now, I do remember before Christmas, he was uploading little teasers and stuff of him behind the scenes where he was working on this new album and trying out new ideas. Well, now it's confirmed. He's recording an album, but he's asking supporters of his music out there to help him fund it with a crowdfunder. Now, at the time of recording this, he's well over £1,000 raised already, but yeah, there's still days to go. So if you do want to help support Kyle in his brand new album, then you can.
Hello everyone, Kyle Warren here. I'm excited to share with you news that I'm launching a crowdfunder. What's a crowdfunder? Well, it's a way to support a new project, and my new project is a new album which we're going to release this summer. My project actually has 3 areas. It's a new album, a music video, and a live stream concert performance as well. There are 2 ways you can get involved today with this crowdfunder. The first way would be just to share it with anyone you know who likes bagpipe music or Scottish music, world music, or music in general. That would be fantastic to share the news of this crowdfunder. It's going to last for 4 weeks. And the second way is to come on board with the project financially. And there are 3 rewards if you'd like to come on board with the project today. The first reward is a signed pre-release copy of the album. Second reward is a signed pre-release copy of the album with your name in the credits, in the sleeve notes of the album. And that's probably the biggest way I can say thank you to you for coming on board and supporting and believing in my new music and my project. And the third reward is that I'm going to create a music book. It's going to be 100 copies only of this book. They'll be numbered and signed, and it's a full bagpipe musical rundown of the album. It will have some behind the scenes kind of pictures and notes about how the tracks all came together as well. So that book will accompany a signed pre-release copy of the album. So they're the 3 ways that you could come on board financially, and the 3 rewards for supporting the project. Two big supporters so far are Green Tracks, who are going to release the album, and Creative Scotland, who have came on board as well and supported the project across the three areas. There's still a financial gap to close, and that gap obviously has to come from me, and hopefully it comes from this crowdfunder as well. The full list of where all the pennies have to go is linked to the crowdfunder as well, so you'll see quite the extensive list as well of where the pennies are going to go. I'm really excited to share my new music with you come this summer, and I really do hope you enjoy it when it comes out. Thank you for considering supporting my project.
So there you are. I would urge you, if you can, go along and drop him a wee quid and help this album get made. So shout out to Kyle Warren. Definitely excited to hear this new album. Really looking forward to that. So yeah, go and check that out. All the links, of course, are up there in the Rab Show Facebook page for Kyle Warren's upcoming album launch and all the rest. Yeah, bit of crowdfunding. Not bad. Okay, another little news story then, which I was really excited to read about whenever I first seen it, is the Australian Championships are back. They're back! Woo! Now, we've been waiting on this announcement now for a wee while, and here it is, finally. The 61st Australian Championships will be taking place this year in the first weekend in October. And man, we cannot wait. So the Australian Championships will be held in what's affectionately called Rat Park, or better known as Pittwater Rugby Park, I could just about talk, which is the home to the Warringah Rats since 1977. There you are. And from my Google map and everything, I think it's just a little bit north of Sydney. And I could be completely wrong. This could be stuff that Rob got wrong. But looking at the website for the Australian Championships, we can see that there is plans for an online live stream from the championships. So those of us around the globe who can't make it, yes, the championships will be live streamed, and that is such good news to see. So, yeah, I would urge you, go along to the championships website, and all of your information's up there about how to get your entries in and everything. And then, of course, for us internationally, how we can tune in and catch all the action from the Australian Championships. This is so exciting because I have been waiting for this competition for a while now, and it's just so good to see this announcement and to see bands gearing up and getting ready for this. The Australian Nationals is always a thumping good competition and draws in bands from quite a wide, geographical, reach, I suppose. So, yeah, really looking forward to this. And it's one event that it's on my bucket list. I've always wanted to get to the Australian Nationals, but I know rightly that I never will because it's so far away, But, hey, maybe someday when I hang up my podcasting hat and maybe jump in an airplane and head to Australia to catch the Nationals, it'll be all sorts of incredible. Because I just want to see how it's done down under, with the street march competition and everything, drum majoring, all of that. It's just so fascinating. So, yeah, full information is up there now on pipebandaustralia.com, on their website, all about the National Championships. Really, really looking forward to that. So, such an exciting announcement there. So, there you are. Shout out to all you good folks down under. Cannot wait for this event coming up in the first weekend of October. Oh, that's going to be good. That's going to be so good. Alrighty. Speaking of good, well, we've had another great announcement coming out from the National Piping Centre about the Piping Live Festival. This year, they're going to be launching something really quite special, and if anything, I think this is a return of this. It's kind of it's an international competition, which gives brand new UK-based acts a chance to compete for a slot at the festival, to play at the popular Street Cafe stage, as part of the festival club. So to enter the Piping Live Festival are asking bands or acts to supply a link of a track, either on SoundCloud or Spotify or wherever, and also to provide a link of the band performing live. So even if this live recording was used just playing at home in your front room, the competition is free to enter, and the prize, it'll lead to a paid performance at the Piping Live Festival. So why not? All you have to do is send them a couple of links, and next thing you know, you could be playing at Piping Live. Now, the panel of judges is, of course, Festival Director Finlay MacDonald. You have Ross Ainsley there as well as John Mulhern, and they will be looking for a high level of musicianship, as well as originality and creativity. Now, like I said, all you have to do is send them a couple of links, one to your band's Spotify or SoundCloud, whatever, and then a link to your video of, like a little performance clip or something, and then send it to marketing@thepipingcentre.co.uk. Full information, of course, on this competition is up there now on the Piping Live social media, so you can go and check all the links there. But yeah, such a good opportunity for a new upcoming artist here in the UK to possibly play at one of the biggest festivals in the piping calendar. Yeah, so, this was a thing that used to happen at Piping Live, and I think one of the acts that used to get I think they did get their start at Piping Live was Rora. Yeah, and we've had them on the pod, and I'm constantly playing them on our Fuse FM radio show. So that was over like 10 years ago now, I suppose. So, yeah, if you want to be possibly the next Rora, then why not? Send a couple of links off in an email, and you two could be playing at the biggest piping festival on the calendar. So Piping Live is due to return this year, running from the 6th through to the 14th of August, of course. That's our Christmas week. And apparently a full programme of, everything that's happening at Piping Live this year will be announced in mid-May. And we're looking forward to that update, indeed. Now, as part of the launching of the competition, Finlay MacDonald, of course, himself said that was going to provide a platform for emerging talent it's pretty much an integral part of the Piping Live Festival. And being able to provide this competition coming up, such an awesome opportunity for any upcoming act. So there you are. Take full advantage of that and go and check out further information, of course, on the Piping Live website or indeed on their social media, on their Facebook page and Twitter and whatnot. All details are up there now, so go and check that out. What an incredible opportunity. There you are. All right, I wanted to give a brief mention this week that, this past week on March 31st there, just before it, the World Online Piping and Drumming Championships Spring Edition announced all of their associated winners. So well done to everyone who picked up a prize at this competition. There's way too many of you to mention, but just to let you know that the announcements of all the winners, of all the silverware was up there now, so you can go and have a read of that. I have to give special mention, actually, to Tullylagan Pipe Band, who had quite a bit of success at this event. Quite a number of prizes coming their direction to the folks there at Tullylagan Pipe Band. So congratulations to everyone there at the Mighty Lagan. Oh, if I'm mentioning Tullylagan, I have to go, you. Yeah, that's compulsory. So yeah, shout out to you folks there at Tullylagan. Doing quite well at the World Online Piping and Drumming Championship Spring Edition there. Well done, everyone. Okay, on to another little news story then. Speaking of competitions and results and everything, I can't go any further without mentioning the Dunedin Games that happened over this past weekend. The Dunedin Highland Games was at Highlander Park, and you talk about brutal conditions. Yeah, I was getting messages from folks on the ground who were saying, Rab, you thought Stone Mountain was bad in 2019. Mate, you haven't seen anything. And sure enough, I did see video footage of some of the bands trying to perform in what, honestly, to best describe it, is monsoon conditions. I have never seen rain like it. Apparently, there was even lightning and stuff that ended up the competition had to be finished off indoors, with the president, Eric McNeil, actually standing on a folding chair giving out the results at the end of the comp. So, absolutely brutal conditions, but I guess that's Florida, sometimes you get those tropical conditions. But yes, to run through who won what, I suppose, starting off in Grade 5, we have North Texas, who lifted Grade 5 there in first place. Go on, North Texas! You! Yeah, I have to give them a shout, don't I? Yeah, and in Grade 4 then, the city of Dunedin managed to lift the top spot there in Grade 4. Go on, Dunedin! Yeah! Am I just going to give a shout to everyone? Yeah, why not? Alright, and then in Grade 3, we had St. Thomas Episcopal School. Go on, St. Thomas! Yes! Picking up the top spot in Grade 3. Then in Grade 2, there was only one Grade 2 band there on the day, which was the Ulster Scottish Pipe Band. So great performance, by the way. And shout out to our Grade 1 winner as well, which of course was the city of Dunedin. They were the only band in Grade 1 that day. So well done. I think by all accounts, the event was pretty awesome, and a lot of people seemed to have a great time. Spectators and bandsmen and women alike. It was quite an awesome event. But the conditions kind of let it down, unfortunately. But you can't plan for weather like that. Oof, absolutely brutal. Well done to all of the organisers, judges, stewards, and of course all the bands and musicians who were involved in that competition. And shout out to all the soloists as well, by the way. I had to give you guys a mention too. But yeah, for all the full listings of who won what and everything, that has been listed, of course, on pipesdrums.com. You can go and check that out. Or, of course, you can check all of the official sources and get the list of who won what and what grade. But yes, well done to everyone there at the Dunedin Highland Games. I think it was a roaring success. So well done, everyone. Okay, well, of course, in competition news, this past weekend in Livingston in Scotland, we had a World Solo Drumming qualifying event. Yeah, as well as a band competition, as well as a load of other solos events that were happening. But yeah, the piping world was very focused on what was happening with that pre-World solo qualification spot there. So yeah, 4 people from this were pre-qualified, and the winner was Blair Brown. So well done to Blair, picking up the top spot there in Livingston. Second was Jake Jorgensen, third was Andrew Lawson, and fourth was Cameron Lawson. So those 4 folks then are all pre-qualified as far as I'm aware. Yeah, for the upcoming World Solos in October. So well done, everyone. Now, I'm not going to read the hashtag list because, seriously, it would take me forever. But suffice to say, everyone who competed at it, the standard seemed to be very, very high indeed. So well done to everyone who was competing there in Livingston in the solo events. And yeah, if you do want to read the full listings, of course, of who won what, they are available on the social media accounts, of course, and online on the RSPBA site as well. So rather than me read a hashtag list for you, you can go and read that at your own leisure. And congratulations to all of our incredible soloists and musicians who were part of that. The event, again, similar to what happened in Dunedin, it was a roaring success, guys. So well done to everyone. That was fantastic. All right, I have to give a mention this week to the National Youth Pipe Band of Scotland, who have put out an announcement saying that applications are now open for the 2022 intake. So if you do want to be part of the National Youth Pipe Band of Scotland, now's your chance. Go to nypbs.co.uk/applications, and all details are up there now, where you can check out what your playing requirements are, all of that stuff. So if you do want to be a part of the National Youth Pipe Band, now's your chance. So intake is now open for 2022, and there's never been a better time to lift the sticks or chanter with the folks there at the National Youth Pipe Band. Yeah. Ourselves in the Rab Show, we're honestly huge fans of the National Youth Pipe Band, and they do get to play on some of the biggest stages that the piping world has to offer. So yeah, if you do want to take that opportunity, then head along now to their website and check out their application process. Indeed. Alrighty, moving on to another competition then. I have to give a mention to the Brisbane Boys College Band Contest, which was held in Queensland there on the 2nd of April. And yeah, again, I could read you a hashtag list of who won what, but yes, well done to everyone there who was at the Brisbane Boys College Band Competition. I think running down from grade 2, first was Emmanuel College Highlanders, who picked up grade 2, and grade 3, then Brisbane Boys College number 1 lifted grade 3, and grade 4A was Brisbane Boys College Old Collegians, there you are, and 4B was Brisbane Boys College number 2. There you are, as well as Novice A and Novice B. Both of those went to Brisbane Boys College number 1 and number 2 respectively. There you are. So, yeah, if you do want to find out about where other bands placed, of course, you can go and check that out on Pipe Bands Queensland on their social media. The full listings of who won what is there. And again, I have to say, the event itself was incredibly well attended and well ran as well. I'm hearing reports about the organisation of it was incredible. So well done to everyone involved there. I think that was fantastic showing. So, yeah, shout out to Brisbane Boys College on their event. Now, as far as I'm aware, there was little bits of live streaming here and there, and we have tried to share those out where we could, so you can go and check those out on the Big Rab Show Facebook page now and go enjoy those performances. Indeed. So, unfortunately, our next news story is a little bit of a somber note. Ourselves and the Rab Show team were notified this past week of the very sad passing of Pipe Major Joe McAdam. Joe was 99 years young and was responsible for teaching many pipers throughout County Down here in Northern Ireland. He was a successful pipe major in his own right through grades 2 and grade 3, and all over his career he was responsible in putting many great bagpipers on the road to success. He was involved with the Ballynahinch Pipe Band along with many others, and from all of us here in the Big Rab Show team, although he was in his later years, we will still mourn his passing. So from all of us in the Rab Show team, we want to send our sincerest condolences to all of Joe's family, friends, and everyone listening to the podcast right now who would have known Joe quite well. And he was a gentleman and had always had time to talk to everyone here in the piping scene, and he will be sorely missed. So, yeah, unfortunately, such sad news this week of the passing of pipe major Joe McAdam. Well, from that, we are seeing music returning to Northern Ireland even more so. We're talking about competitions and stuff opening their gates this incoming season, but we're now starting to see trad and folk and Celtic bands returning to stage as well. And I did mention it on a previous podcast a couple of weeks ago that the dual bagpiping powerhouse that is Brayback are coming to Northern Ireland. Starting tomorrow night, of course, in Armagh from the 7th of April in the Marketplace Theatre, Brayback will be on stage. On the 8th of April, they're in Strabane, in the Alley Theatre. And the 9th of April, they're in Maharat at the Encore Arts Centre. And then on the 10th of April, they're in Belfast in the Duncairn Arts Centre. So, doing a little bit of a mini Northern Ireland tour. So if you are a fan of Brayback at all, or even just of bagpiping, then you will want to check out Brayback in action. We have checked out the guys, of course, many times here in the show, and I think it was one of our first ever shows on Fuse where we had an interview with Brayback. So that tells you how long ago it was since they were last here. So take the opportunity, go and see such an awesome band live. Brayback are here for 4 dates in Northern Ireland, and I for sure will be doing my best to try and get to each one of these. Expect an interview with Brayback in the near future here on the pod, or maybe exclusively to Patreon subs. But shout out to Brayback and your upcoming Northern Ireland tour. Very much looking forward to that. That's dead exciting there. Yeah, for sure. Well, seeing how we're on the topic of gig announcements and everything, I have to give a mention to Heron Valley this week, who announced their Glasgow stereo show. Yeah, this is all sorts of exciting, because whenever you look at the details of who their support act is, Erin Ray, who won the title of Young Scots Traditional Musician of the Year this year, and she's their support act. There you are. So, shout out to Heron Valley. This gig's going to be happening on the 8th of May in Glasgow Stereo, so shout out to Heron Valley. Really looking forward to that. It's great to see you back on stage, folks. Now, it's not the only announcement, of course, for gigs in that coming up. We also have the Huni in the Hydro. Yeah, the world's biggest ceilidh, apparently. This is scheduled to take place on the 17th of December in the Glasgow Hydro. And now, when you look at the lineup for this is going to be one heck of a gig. You have Trail West, Scaryvore, you have Sharon Shannon Band as well, you have Manran and Dougie McLean. Oh, now what a gig. Now, so if you do want tickets for that, go to the sec.co.uk, the world's biggest hoolie, the Hoolie in the Hydro. Man, that's going to be so much fun. What a lineup too. Wow. So, if you do want to head to that, then grab tickets and avoid disappointment, and definitely consider picking yourself up a set of dancing shoes, because you're not want to go to that unprepared. The Hoolie in the Hydro, that's looking like one heck of a gig for sure. So if you are a fan of ceilidh music at all, then you head along to that for sure. Yeah, you'll not be disappointed. Indeed. Alrighty. Well, folks, that all being said, that's it for the news and updates this week, and I am sure there is a wealth of information that we have yet to cover, and I'm sure a lot of people are disappointed that we haven't covered it. One last story that I do want to squeeze in, though, before we do have to go is, Tullylagan Pipe Band. Yeah, they're running a fundraising fishing competition. Now, that's something new. I haven't seen a pipe band doing that before. But hey, interesting concept. So you can join the folks there at Tullylagan and all the supporters in raising some funds for the band on Monday, the 2nd of May. That's in Turniface Road at Turniface Fishery. You can turn up, do a spot of fishing. You'll have food and drink served and a wee raffle as well. So that's from 9 o'clock in the morning until 3 in the afternoon. So if you fancy a spot of fishing and... it's competitive as well. So, why not? That'll be a bit of fun. I've never went fishing in my life, but it sounds good. Sounds like fun. There you go. Shout out to Tullylagan, doing a spot of fundraising there. Awesome stuff. All right, and another little bit of an announcement just before I get on with this week's topic of the week. I have to give a mention this week to a competition that I wasn't initially aware of until recently, whenever I first heard about it. The Monterey Scottish Games and Celtic Festival. I think I've probably pronounced that wrong. But it will be happening, of course, July 16th and 17th this year. I'm really looking forward to this, actually. This is attracting all sorts of bands and solo artists to their kitchen piping competition, and would love to learn more about this competition running forward. And yeah, just wanted to kind of draw your attention to that. The Monterey Scottish Games and Celtic Festivals coming up July 16th and 17th, and you can go along to their website now and check out all their information, MontereyCelticFest.com, where they have all their information about the bands that are attending. And the kitchen piping competition looks like a lot of fun too. Yeah, just wanted to give it a brief mention because kitchen piping in particularly really did draw my attention because, yeah, well, I'll tell you who's playing at it. Yeah, we have Xavier Bordeaux, we have Ross Miller in there. Ooh, some big names. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say. So shout out to the Monterey Celtic Fest. Looking forward to that, actually. So yeah, hopefully we'll hear more about that in the near future. But just wanted to give it a brief mention on the show this week. That we're curious. This is quite a cool looking event. I'm looking forward to that coming up in July. Indeed. Alrighty, well, that all being said, that's it for the news and updates. I'm sure you're all scunnered by now and probably switched off your podcast player. But please don't, because we're about to get into this week's topic of the week. We've got quite an interesting interview for you this week with a bit of a YouTube sensation. And yeah, let's get it's time for a big cup of tea. It's time for the topic of the week.